most dental practices are losing thousands of dollars each year because they're stuck in what I call 3 Ps. The practices that have been able to successfully overcome this 3 Ps have seen faster growth, smoother operations, happier staff, and happier patients. But the practices that haven't been able to grow have seen that they're still stuck in these 3 Ps. So what we're going to discuss today is that what are these 3 Ps that the practices struggle with day in and day out. These 3 Ps are sometimes hidden and sometimes they are very, very silent productivity killers. So the number 1 P that I'm going to talk about, as per a study by an independent agency, says they surveyed 200 practices and they found that if this P is removed, you can save 35% of your front office time. So what is this P? This is simple. You see this every day, but it's very silent. This P is called the paperwork, the front office paperwork that the patients have to fill out. Every patient have to fill out before they see the doctor. The amount of paperwork, so the paperwork not only takes over the front office time, but it also irritates the patient. You will see patients asking questions like, do I still need to do this in 2025? I have a 4-year-old, do we still want to do the paperwork for them? So the front office have to deal with these questions as a first point of discussion with the patients, which may not be the best ones to start with. So the number 1 problem or number 1 P that is not helping practices grow is the paperwork in their front office. So the practices that have been able to take care of this paperwork have seen faster growth in the practices because their front office have more time to deal with patients. They're happier patients, happier staff. And the front office spends a lot of time scanning the documents, putting into the EMR system, manually entering all the data, checking the signatures, checking the medical history. So it's a lot of work that is being pushed onto the front office. So the moment you take away that work by digitizing all your paperwork, you will be able to see a 35% increase in your productivity at your front office. So that's number 1. Number 2 is your payments, chasing the payments. I call it chasing the payments because there are practices that are not able to collect the payments from their patients on time, which is causing cash flow issues, which is not allowing the practice to grow, and they don't have cash to invest back in practice. So I went to a practice to meet a doctor. He invited me to see him to talk about his growth plans. But what we ended up talking about was the account receivable challenges that he was facing. So the moment I went into the office, he was visibly frustrated. He was throwing the keys on his desk and he was throwing his jacket on his chair, and he was basically asking, how do we take care of this account receivable issues? Because he had $50,000 that is sitting in overdue payments, and his front office is calling the patients. Patients are not answering the call, or the patients are asking more questions about those payments. So the struggle of account receivable, the struggle of chasing the payments is real. And the practices who have been able to overcome those challenges have seen a faster growth in their practice. The second aspect of chasing the payment is your claim denials. The practices who simply chase denials day in and day out because there's a reason behind it, which is the insurance verifications. They have not been able to see consistent growth. So the practice who have been able to do well on their collect because they have done a good job on their insurance verifications and have been able to complete the insurance verification properly, and they submitted their claims, are seeing less denials, have been able to collect better. And that's what helps them grow faster as a practice. So the number 2 P is your payments. So the number 1 is your paperwork. Number 2 is your payments. And the number 3 is your patients. The patients is not a problem, but the patients who doesn't show up is a problem. So chasing the patients to show up for their appointments. The practices who have been able to overcome this challenge of a better show rate, if they have a better show rate, they have been able to go faster. They have seen faster growth because they have patients who show up for the appointment. And the second aspect of that is chasing the patients who haven't accepted their treatment plan. So I went to a practice where the office manager, recently I went to this practice, and the office manager showed me a list of an Excel sheet on which she have about 350 that she's scheduled to follow up with them. And following up with them means making a call, asking them if they're ready to accept this treatment plan so they can bring them back into practice, put them on the chair and get started with their treatment. But her complaint was that she's not getting enough time to do these calls, and she's not getting enough time to connect with all the patients. So the practices who have been able to overcome the challenge of automatically having a system in place to follow up with these patients for their unscheduled treatment plans, I've seen a consistent growth in their practice. I've seen a solid growth. So if you have a treatment plan acceptance rate at 40% and you have been able to grow that by 10%, that's a lot of money. That means maybe additional 20, 30 treatment plans that have been accepted. So that's real money coming into your bank. So these are the 3 Ps that practices who have been able to overcome have seen consistent growth. They have seen streamlined operations. They have seen happier staff and happier patients. At mConsent, we help you with taking care of all these 3 Ps. We automate your patient reminders. We help you with digitizing all your paperwork, and we help you with collecting your account receivables, automatic text to pay. And also we help you with insurance verification. We have a system that educates patients about their treatment plans so that in an educating way, you can bring back patients to your practice. So this is how mConsent can help you with 3 Ps. If you have any questions, we have team members who can answer your challenges and help you out with one of your 3 Ps, all of you. Thank you.